Hello again, guys, with a new grammar lecture. In today's lecture, I'm going to speak about the subject, okay? The main functions of the subject, the object, the complement, okay? We already spoke about the subject, and we said that the subject either be agentive agent or instrument, and the direct object may be affected, and the complement attribute, and it's divided into two parts, either current or resulting. In today's lesson, okay, or lecture, I'm going to speak about the secondary semantic functions of the subject. The subject may have secondary semantic functions, just like affected. Okay, affected means that the action is done to it. Okay, recipient means that the subject receiving something. Okay, locative, it means that referring to a place. Okay, temporal, referring to time. Okay, event, referring to an activity. Empty it. Okay, this meaningless, but we can use it to refer to time, weather, or distance. But guys, you remember that I already told you that the subject can be affected with intransitive verbs and copular verbs. Copular verbs, verbs to be, أفعال verbs to be, okay? اللي هي is, will are, will was, will were, okay? Look at this example. London is foggy. London, it's a place, okay? So since that it's a place, so the subject means here the secondary semantic function of the subject is locative because it refers to a place. Is here it's not dynamic verb, it is stative verb because we are describing the state, okay, of London. That's foggy, okay? هسا الأوريجن مالت السنتنس هي أصلا شنو بالأصل هي it's foggy in London, okay? Semantically empty it, okay, refers to weather. Tomorrow is my birthday, okay? Semantically, okay, since that it refers to time, so it's temporal, okay? So it's my birthday tomorrow, okay? The concept will be next week. Here it's an event, okay? Refers to any activity. It's too far from New York, okay? Here empty if, okay, empty it. Here we can use it to refer to distance, okay? It's said that طبعا السبجect إذا كان locative, okay, refers to place. We cannot use it with progressive tenses or passive voice, okay? It's said that locative subject cannot be used with progressive continuous tenses or passive voice. ما نقدر نستخدم السبجect إذا طلنا المعنى مالته locative ما نقدر نستخدمه ويا التنسز، okay؟ الكونتينيوس المستمرة ولا ويا الباسيف voice، okay؟ The bus holds 40 people, okay? هنا the bus locative, okay? Subject here. I cannot say the bus is holding. So look at these two sentences, please. Pay attention to me. He tasted the soup. He tasted the pepper in the soup. So here the verb taste, okay? Test. Here the verb taste in both sentences is a verb of sense, okay? واحد من الأفعال الحواس. And since it's like that, we expect that the subject is recipient, okay? ما دام هو واحد من أفعال الحواس إذا نحن نتوقع أنه السبجكت راح يكون شنو؟ راح يكون recipient لأن I already told you that the subject is يعني إذا كان الverb واحد من أفعال الحواس so the subject is gonna be recipient, okay? لكن هنا بالجملة الأولى it means that he tasted, it means that he examined it, okay? He checked it, okay? So it means that there is an action of tasting. So he is the doer of the action. So since that he is the doer of the action, so the subject, the semantically function of the subject is agent, okay? While in the second sentence here, he tasted the papa in the soup. In this sentence, the subject is recipient. Why? Because he is going to receive something. The subject here, he tasted the soup, which means that he received something. The soup may be spicy, okay? That he tasted the soup, which is spicy. So he received something. يعني مثلا يجوز لسانه يعني لسعته الحرارة فاستلم شيء. إذن the subject here is recipient. Foolishly he tasted the soup, okay? The adverb here requires the agentive, which means يعني the subject does the action, okay? Maybe do the action, you do the action, and then you discover that you were foolish, okay? So you are doing the action, and since that you are doing the action, so you are agent, okay? يعني أنا سويت أكشن معين، أنا شيكت السوق لكن بحماقة، يعني أنا سويت هذا الشيء بعدين أنا اكتشفت روحي إنه يعني ليش سويت هذا الشيء، أوكي؟ يعني the subject does the action, and since that he is or she is doing the action, so he is agent, okay? Foolishly, he tasted the papa in the soup. In this sentence that we cannot use the adverb here. Why? Because the subject receive something, it's recipient, not doing the action. It's not doing something. To be a fool means you have to do something, not receive it. هسه بالأولى هنا إذا كان يعني هو أصلا سوى هذا الشيء بحماقة، يعني سوى هذا الشيء بعدين اكتشف روحه انه هذا سوى هذا الشيء بحماقة، لكن هنا استلم هذا الشيء، هو يعني ما يدري بهذا، اذن هو استلم هذا الشيء. اذن السبجكت هنا recipient. We cannot use the adverb foolishly here, okay? It's sunny today. Okay, it's not too far to New York. It's 10 o'clock. هنا refers to weather, هنا distance, هنا time, okay? From the context, okay, we can understand it refers to what. يعني من السياق أنا أقدر أفهم إنه هي refers to what, okay? ما دام عندنا sunny هنا معناها weather، ما دام عندنا هنا مسافة يعني نيويورك هنا مسافة، ما دام عندنا وقت هنا to time. Direct object, okay, so direct object, the main function of the direct object is affected, okay? It involved in the action, okay? It can be animate or inanimate, living or non-living things. The action is done to it. I read the book. Here the book, syntactically it's direct object, but semantically it's affected, okay? It's inanimate. Here in this sentence, the horse jumped the fence. Here the horse is the subject. Jump here, this verb refers to an action, okay? Action of jumping. The fence المفعول به اللي هو ال direct object syntactically, but semantically it's locative, okay? Because it refers to a place. Here when we come to the participants, here we have two participants. It's the horse and the fence. It means that the horse jumped over the fence, okay? It differs from this. The man painted the fence, okay? Here the man is the subject. Painted refers to an action, okay? Action of painting. The fence, syntactically, it's direct object, and just like the previous sentence, but semantically it differs, okay? It's not locative, it's affected, okay? Because the action is done to it. okay, the action is done to it. It's not any the doer of the action. Here in your book, there are certain verbs. If you find them in a sentence, okay, the direct object is gonna be locative, just like jump, okay, calm, surrounded, occupied, etc. موجودة الأفعال أعتقد بالكتاب مالتكم. He is writing a letter, okay? He is writing a letter here. Syntactically, it's direct object. I mean a letter, okay? But semantically, it's affected. It's resulting. It comes into extens, which means it's created, okay, by someone. It's created as a result of the action of writing. يعني قبل ما كانت موجودة، okay? هي يعني اجت يعني بواسطة شخص ما هو اللي كتبها. Okay, it's created يعني مخلوقة. It's a result كنتيجة of the action of writing, كنتيجة لأكشن الكتابة. Here in this sentence, he fight a fight. A fight syntactically it's direct object, but semantically it's affected, not affected, affected. Because okay, so it's affected, it's affected, not affected, okay? A result of the action, cognate affected. Cognate يعني معناها من أصل واحد, okay? Cognate affected. It because it repeats, okay, the verb in meaning and in morphology. لاحظ هنا fight a fight. هنا جاي يعيد ال direct object, جاي يعيد ال verb, okay? لذلك من نعيد الverb نسميه cognate affected. يعني we have a complete similarity between the verb and the direct object. Here, look at these two sentences. He made no comment. He did little work. هسه من نجي syntactically, both of them direct object, but semantically, okay, هسه semantically يعني affected, okay, affected because the command, okay, will be created as a result of his making, okay. Okay, we can say he didn't comment. In the second sentence we can say he worked little. هسه لاحظ هاي الأفعال الثنين, الcomment وال worked, we can call them verbal nouns, okay, verbal nouns. يعني شنو verbal nouns؟ يعني معناها a noun derived directly from a verb. or هسه إذا اجينا الفرق بين gerunds وال verbal nouns, هنا يعني there are differences. لأن gerund another type of noun formed from a verb, لكن هنا ال verbal nouns يعني تختلف الشغلة مالتهن. Okay, so هذني الكلمتين we can call them verbal nouns, the nouns that have the same form of verbs. So we can use them as affected, okay, direct object preceded by common verbs, well, none, okay, verbs. Here the direct object either be affected, okay, cognate or verbal nouns. وخذينا مثال على الcognate وقلنا إذا الفعل أو الdirect object عاد الفعل نفسه, ها, he sang a song, he fight a fight, هنا نسميه cognate. أما إذا كان عندنا هذني well والnone والcomment worked, okay, verbal nouns. الdirect object أيضا يكون locative, refers to a place, أو يكون affected, okay, affected not affected. affected معناها متأثر, okay, أما affected معناها يؤثر. هسه لاحظ these two sentences. I'm digging the ground, I'm digging the hole. Okay, so the ground syntactically, the hole and the ground syntactically, they are the same, okay? Because both of them are direct object, but semantically it differs, okay? Here, semantically, the ground is affected, يؤثر, okay? هي تأثر يعني يؤثر. I'm digging the ground means that I'm doing the action to it. I'm doing the action to it. While I'm digging the hole here syntactically we've said that it's direct object, but semantically it is affected, okay? متأثر, the ground, and I'm digging it, so I'm going to make a hole, so there is no hole before. قبل ما كانت أكو فتحة, okay? The hole is a result of my action, okay? The hole is a result of my action. يعني اجت بسبب يعني أنا سويت هذا الأكشن. إذا أنا سويت هذا الأكشن إذن هي affected, okay? هسه إذا أنا أسوي الحدث I'm doing the action معناها affected. إذا أنا سويت إذا شيء صار كسبب my action معناها affected, okay? Okay, he sang a song. Syntactically it's direct object, semantically it's affected. قلنا cognate. ليش؟ لأن أصلا هي direct object عاد الفعل نفسيته. This song is a result of the action of singing, okay? Cognate means the direct object will repeat the verb, and I've written this to you. And we've said that there is a similarity between them in the meaning and morphology. Here, the indirect object here, it's affected recipient, okay? Look at this example above. He made me a visit, okay? So, we have three participants here. He made a visit, okay? So, syntactically, it's a subject. Semantically, agent, okay? Here, me, it's indirect object as a syntactically, okay? But as semantically, it's affected, not affected, affected, okay? He visited me. Okay, so a visit syntactically it's direct object. Semantically it is affected, okay? ليش affected? Because the result of the action. affected بالإي a result of the action. يعني النتيجة للحدث. أما affected the action is done to it, okay? The action is done to it. Look at these two verbs here, بيو. These two verbs, we can call them ditransitive. You remember, okay? We spoke about them. It's here affected, direct or indirect object, where affected direct object. So we finished the subject, and we are going to take another subject which is concord in the coming lecture. All the best of good luck. I hope to share the video.